Oh,
You guys see
Boggs, what's up?
what's up? What's up?
Oh man,
Look at this guy.
you are up bright and early.
I'm so tired.
Especially because you said what you were working at the Dallas Bull until 4 this morning.
Yeah, I got home around 4. They let me go at 3. It's when we close. So, 30-minute drive home, a little bit of sleep so I can make this. I feel great though.
Damn, that's
Look great.
must must be tough. The second job as a bull, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. This is typically how we're going to roll. We'll goof around a little bit. We'll talk about a couple things, but we wanted to expand on our last topic, which was bringing on players that now have become coaches. Ironically, right? Looking back, I started checking back into dates and times because I think both Coach Busquets and I are confused on our dates and such. Can you give us the exact years that you were at Steinbrenner?
So I was there.
You're confused on the dates too.
No, it was I was freshman year. It was 2013, and I graduated in 2017.
2017.
Right.
So,
yep.
So this year right here would be 2015.
Yeah, look at that. 5'10", 140.
Yeah. Now you're like 5'10", 75, 180
No,
maybe.
I'm like 190 now.
Dude, jacked. That's
Stop.
what I'm saying. Now you can play linebacker. I mean, you still look like
Look at
a
that
teenager.
neck. That's amazing.
Look at that shirt. He's stretching the whole shirt out right now. This is ridiculous.
That haircut, man.
Yeah. I see it. Look,
Did you choose that, or did you were you on punishment? Like, what happened with that?
It was the style back then, dude.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, there was a lot of people, right, that see Coach Boggs now, and this is what they see, right? They see Coach Boggs, just like that. The player, see that? How good that is now. Like he's got that intense look on his face. He's like, man, you're doing a great job, by the way. I mean, I can't take anything away from you. As young as you are, how old are you now?
I'm 24.
Yeah, 24-year-old. You're doing a really good job with guys that are, just a few years younger than you. But for all the same reasons, I think you were a great communicator back then as a player, although undersized. You had the heart of a champ, heart of a lion, and I think that's what you're showing and coaching these guys now. So I thought that was for Coach Puskas and I, that was a good first guy to bring back when it comes to players. But I do, not a lot of people remember this. This is how probably Coach Puskas and I remember you. Oh yeah. Remember these days? Those are the Lutz Goons days, aren't they? Look at that. What is that,
baby?
What is that? A soda in your hand? Anyways. No, I can't tell how old you are or young you are in any of these pictures. You're ageless. You're like an Asian. You know what I mean?
Deep diving you. He's like narwhal, Asian narwhal.
I'm pulling all this stuff.
We catched it now.
So your first full season with us, how did you like it? How did you enjoy it being on the other side of the ball, not playing but watching guys, teaching guys, coaching guys, encouraging guys every single day?
I enjoyed it, being back, with you guys, even when I first started, because I first started on, JV, and, I always wanted to be up on varsity and everything and get that opportunity and stuff like that. But I enjoyed it, man. Kind of had a tough year, hard schedule and everything like that. But, one thing I really missed about, being back in the program was such a strong family like we had, you know what I mean? And, that's one thing I, love their players and love our coaching staff and everything like that. But, I enjoyed it, man. And, I'm excited for the years to come. And we got a lot of stuff, that it's really exciting to look forward to.
Nice.
So,
Are you
just
still
keep
now
working.
you're teaching, or what is your job at the school? Because you also work at the school, correct?
Right. Yeah. So I'm a paraprofessional. So I'm in the ESC department. So what I do like every day is I'm one-on-one with the student and go with, work with them, or I take him to all of his classes and, make sure that he's doing his work and everything like that. I enjoy it, and I also get to see all the, most of the coaching staff there, all the football kids, and it's easy to make practice and workouts and stuff that you need to be at. So I enjoy it.
Nice. That was my next question, was how much of your job is actually working, and then how much of it is actually talking football with every teacher slash coach that you run into, players that you run into the hallway, because I'm sure that has a huge part of your day
Oh,
as
he's
well
got
too.
he's got a tough job. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
He does good work, man. He makes it makes it so there's a group of kids who need a little bit of assistance throughout the day, and he's kind of there for them with whatever they need. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but does the football also get part of the attention during the day, or can you focus in on your job directly and then switch it off? Because I know some teachers is difficult. I know even Coach Prez during a regular school day, he'll send messages to the offensive staff or the whole coaching staff about football stuff, and it's like, oh wow, like does the switch ever really turn off?
Um, in season, no, not really. But obviously, you do your job first and things like that. But I'll catch a kid in the hallway, or we'll meet at lunch period sometimes. Like there's been times where, during lunch, me and my DBs will go in a classroom and, we'll just watch film on that opposing team that week and go over our game plan and everything that we need to know. And I enjoy it. That's what I love about working at the school too, that, in season you get to see these guys right then when you need to, and it's beneficial for us, especially as a DB group.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I enjoy it, man. It's great.
How about because you're so close in age, and you're there all day with them, do you feel like that is helpful or hurtful to be with the kids and have contact with them outside of football? Or do you think sometimes they take it like you guys are close in age, so you guys are more friends rather than an authority figure?
It's funny because I always make sure that, I'm your coach before I'm your friend. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's great to have a relationship that, you can kind of, relate to them, because I was in their shoes at one point. I was
Mhm.
a player. I went to the school, I had this basically the same staff you have now. So I get what these kids are going through, and I try to make that connection right there. But at the end of the day, I'm your coach still. You know what I mean? And
Nice.
that's the bottom line. And you just got to take it that way. But yeah, it's great having a relationship with your guys. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing better than, even as a player, I always wanted to play for, Coach Roberts and Coach Ross and, Coach Juan and Coach Jordan, because I had such a great relationship with those guys. And there's nothing better feeling than playing for a coach you want to play for.
That's awesome. Speaking of coaches and player relationships, there was big night last night. Switching gears a little bit, um, we had one of our alumni, who is down at FIU, Dean Patterson.
Dino.
Yep, he
Mm.
he did a great job. Shout out to Dean Patterson. Scored his first college touchdown for FIU against Arkansas, an SEC team. They were on the wrong side of the score, but Dean came up big, hit pay dirt. He looked great doing it. In fact, let me do this because I want to give props where props is due. Hold one sec.
You can't pull off the highlight. Oh, we
Yeah,
can't pull off the highlight. Look at him.
check it
This is like
out.
a real show.
Check it out. Oh, hold on a sec.
Oh,
Hold on. Let me try again. Hold on. I messed it up. Let's try again. Hold on. I'm gonna share the screen. I have to put share sound. There we go. All right. Ready? Okay, start again. Wait a minute. Reverse. And here we go.
FIU, Dean Patterson makes the catch.
Okay, hold on.
From
There he
the
goes.
12. Jenkins throwing to the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown.
Good catch.
FIU.
How about that, huh?
No.
Patterson makes the catch.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Big time,
From the
big
12.
time catch, right? Big time catch. Likewise, big time player. I mean, what a lot of people don't know about Dean is he came in a class or came out of a class, right? That we had won the district and the region. Um, we had what, five guys that were Division One guys, and he wasn't even one of the ones at the top. So he ended up taking a scholarship at the University of Findlay, which is in Ohio, Division II school. To then played a year over there. The COVID year happened. Then he transferred out to FIU and just committed himself to working his tail off. And I mean, if you haven't seen Dean Patterson recently, he's huge. I think we talked about it last time, right, Coach Puskas? He's massive. And playing against SEC school, he looks like he still looks huge against those DBs. So, we're real proud of him. We want to give him a shout out because he's been working his tail off for the last couple seasons. He's been close a couple times, but I know they love him down there in Miami. We love him up here. We're all watching. I mean, the group chat was popping when he scored too. So we love that guy. But there are also a couple other guys that are down there as well. I mean, that came out of that year. Oops, my bad. I shut my own video off. There you go. I'm coming back. Hold on.
Things look a lot better right
Wait,
now.
hold on. How do you turn this damn thing on again?
We increased
There
our
we go. There we go. I'm
handsomeness.
back. I'm back.
Oh, it's back.
Oh, that was my best side. I clicked the wrong button. But there's a couple guys down there, right? Aside from Dean, we got these three guys actually are down there. Hayden Carlson and Jet Law. And what an interesting story, right? Those guys, in particular, Jets, because I think the first guy that was through was Hayden. Dean came in a year after, and then Jet walked on after having a rough go his senior season, and then kind of didn't know where he wanted to go. He regrouped. They gave him a shot over there, and now the guy's playing. So it's a testament to who he is as a person, but also, I really believe the program that it came from. I think the other two guys that are in that screen with Jet absolutely were guys that were instrumental in pushing him forward. So there's more guys like that, more guys to come. But for all the same reasons, culture is a huge part of football. And like you were saying, Boggs, that family feel has to exist before you even think that success is around the corner. So those guys are awesome. Dean had did a great job. There was another thing I wanted to share with you guys, speaking of, because we're on high school football at the moment. Plant High School gets past Dr. Phillips. What is your thought, Coach Greg, that you are an alumni from DP? And we played them in the playoffs first round 2015. We did not get through. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I tried my wife's blowout hairbrush today. What do you think? See this? Fresh.
I mean, it's
No, it's awesome, man. Like, it's good for Tampa landscape and football again to have teams representing further into the playoffs. Semifinals now. I think it's regional finals next.
regional
right?
finals. Yeah, regional finals.
So, Plant, they've had the glory years with state championship, and putting out prospects left and right who made it to the NFL. You had Murray and Wilder. You had
Orson Charles.
Orson Charles,
Yeah.
just awesome players.
Dungy Jr.
And they took a couple years. Coach Weiner went up to the north and play coaching in college football now. And
Mhm.
what you have is Hank Brown has really rebuilt that program. They brought back Bo Puckett, an old face, and a
Oh,
couple of
yeah.
their coaches from that original group, and they're having a lot of success. I personally was very shocked. I thought the Orlando teams were very strong last year, and I thought the look was the same this year. Not to say they weren't strong this year, but I did. I was pretty surprised that Plant put it on Dr. Phillips.
Well,
So I think it's going to be interesting because you see a number one seed in Sumner, who a lot of teams feel played a softer schedule this year,
mhm.
but have some incredible athletes, a good coaching staff over there. And I think this is going to be a really good test. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think Plant and them met earlier this year and they beat Plant, but I have to
Ooh,
check into that.
well, um, speaking of Plant as well, Boggs, they have a bunch of guys that played at Plant also, that have come back to coach over there. So I think there's a new trend really in guys coming back, and bringing success to a program, back to a program, because they're bringing fresh energy, they're bringing fresh new ideas. I know even for us, on the offensive side of the ball, Kason Bird provides great insight, even though he's super young. We're listening. Coach Perez is listening, Coach Rob, and I know on the defensive side of the ball too. You're likely chiming in, and giving your input. How are the coaches responding to you, as a coach? Because I know Coach Juan and Coach Jordan, also remember you as a player.
Yeah, they definitely, listen to any input that any coach, has to say. But respect well, when I take care of my DBs and I see a certain coverage that we should be in, obviously, I'll say something to Coach Grown or, Coach Juan, the rest of the staff and everything like that, and we'll discuss. But every time we're in halftime, there's either a time to make adjustments or, do what you got to do to, go into that second half and, win the game. So a lot of talking between our staff and, it's always positive. It's always great. Everyone's listening to what everyone has to say and everything like that. And, Bird's doing a great job at it too.
Yeah.
I know he coaches JV, so he goes to JV games Thursday nights, comes to our games Friday night, and he does a great job doing both. And I just want to give a shout out to him, man. He's helped out a lot for, offense and everything like that. But, it's great when, you have your entire staff is all on one page, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one goal. And so it's great, I think we have really good communication between all of us.
Awesome. Hey, by the way, Coach Greg, it's Sumner and Plant this week. Who else from the Tampa area is still in the playoffs?
Gaither has moved on.
Oh, who did they beat?
I think it's Lake Mineola or something. They've had a
Okay.
very, very light path, but
Okay.
they are going to run into Jesuit next, who beat them earlier this year in a close game.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then Tampa Bay Tech got past Armwood,
Oh,
so
that was
they
a
are
tough
still
one.
going.
Both of those
Yeah,
teams should keep moving. I hate to see
fantastic
them cross
programs.
paths like so early in the playoffs.
So I do stand corrected. They did not play this year, but they have two common opponents. Plant beat Chamberlain 65-6. Sumner
Mm,
beat Chamberlain 47-0. And
yeah.
then they both played Jefferson. Plant won 51-0. Sumner won 65-0. Sumner's got a fantastic quarterback, Greg Smith, the
Yeah.
third, who's, in my opinion, got a great shot at winning the Guy Toff Award.
Yep.
And Plant is kind of like it's crazy. They've got like this patchwork system going where there's
Yeah.
not really a star. Waltez Clark is phenomenal, but I mean, they give the ball to everyone. You see they have like 7 or 8 receivers with
Yep.
similar passing or receiving numbers, 10 different guys taking carries.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a patchwork offense that it has like a lot of success because everyone's doing their part. And just to go back to what you said, that the new trend is, I don't know if it's a trend as much as it is the just great programs, just evolving to that next level. Yeah, this is not something you see at every program. I think the Plants and the Steinbrenners of the world are where you kind of see this stuff happening, where you got long-term staffs in place who have been kind of just entrenched in the community, and then these guys, it's their turn to give back. So it's pretty awesome to see.
Who do you think
Ooh.
out of the Tampa Bay area teams, who do you give the best shot at winning a state championship? Let's start with Coach Boggs. What do you think?
I would have to say, I think Jesuit looks really nice right now. That they got Willie Suarez, that they are Suarez, however you say his last name. That kid
Suarez.
is real good. I think he had 4 touchdowns. I think they played like Northeast last
Yikes.
Friday, but that kid's real nice. He's real nice. I don't know how much offers he's got, but that kid needs to be on a lot of coaches' radars for sure. He is something special.
Nice. Coach Greg, who do you think?
I'm gonna come back to me. I want to go to you first. Who do you have?
Yeah, I think Jesuits the team this year. I think they got enough firepower to do it. Their coaching staff has been together quite some time. They're a good coaching staff. So I think they got the best shot. How about you?
I don't think. I'm gonna say I think Plants has the best shot this year.
Ooh, fancy.
And I'll tell you why. The remaining teams in 3M, which is where you have Tech, Tech, Jesuit, and Gaither left.
Right.
They all on the other side run into St. Thomas Aquinas
Ooh.
and Homestead and Miramar. So I don't think
Anyone gets
3M's
through those
looking
guys.
great this year. 4M, I feel, is a lot more balanced this year.
Yep.
And while there are the teams like Columbus and Seminole that are still going, I think if Plant can reach into that bag of magic, they're going to play with. I think they're going to play with anyone left. I don't know if they can beat Columbus athlete wise. It's just insane.
Yeah.
But
speaking of that district, including 3M, going back to 3M, right? Which is the Jesuit, Gaither. Who else is in that one?
Tech's in that one.
Tech's in that one. Recently in the news, huge viral video went viral with Jesuit. Let me show you, and then let's just react, shall we? It's a quick one.
I know what this is.
It's a quick one. Oh, I'm pretty sure you do.
Oh, I do know what this
Bam.
is.
Yep. Shall we watch again? Yes. Here we go. Watch again. And bam. I mean, that was quick. That was quick. What do you think when it comes to coaching styles, coaching behaviors, right? How does that make you feel?
So I grew up getting coached by some gentlemen who coached very hard. I got hit in the head a lot. But
so did I.
So it's different for me. I understand that and I completely looked up to and respected my coaches, still do. I still have a relationship with the coaches who coached me hard and smacked me in the head every time I did something silly. And my mom's response was usually, "What did you do to piss off Coach?" So
correct.
It's a different time where I don't think that style of coaching is works in this age. But it's also I don't think it's necessary in this age either. I think there's coaching has evolved quite a bit, just
Mhm.
like the game. And I understand there's hard-nosed coaches, I get that, but if you go back to that video, you can see right when the coach hits the player immediately like turns away and is just like looking on the sideline face down like he's humiliated, right? So as a man, I have grown, and
Mm.
I'd like to think, but I just don't think there's any place for that anymore in the sport. It just
Yeah.
does it's not necessary.
Yeah, I think we see it all the time when guys get into fights at all the levels, high school, college, even in the league. Um, you're punching the guy's helmet. Like that's not going to hurt them. It's probably going to hurt you more. And I saw some of the
And you're like,
comments,
ah,
yeah, from it, and I was the same. I got coached the same way you did. Physical abuse and verbal abuse was a common practice, but it was also an accepted practice where I think in today's day and age, you can't do that. I think there's a version of it that the players can tolerate, but at the same time, there's certainly a threshold where you have to be like, okay, enough's enough right at this spot. So you and I are in the same generation. That's why I'm glad we have Coach Boggs here. He graduated in 2017 high school. So he grew up in a different era. What kind of reaction do you get to that video, Coach Boggs?
You know, nothing really surprises me when it comes to coaching sometimes and who you get as the coach. And I'm sure that guy was coached the same way you guys were. You know what I mean? So he probably thinks, that's normal. That's how I was coached and everything like that. But nowadays, you hit a kid, that's it. And you just don't do that. That's just you can't do that. You know what I mean? So especially, at Jesuit private school, that's not gonna slide over there. But
Yeah.
that it's just something you don't want to get yourself into. There's another way to address that situation, right? It looked like the kid wasn't supposed to be on the field. They had too many men on the field or whatever. They're trying to get the kid off, how to use a timeout. It's not how you handle that situation, in my opinion. But it is what it is. I'm sure that guy learned his lesson and everything
Yeah.
like
I
that.
think he actually
it was
he got
crazy.
fired, in fact,
Yeah,
from
Here's
his
what's
spot.
crazy
So
about it though, because there's, in my opinion, I don't know this. There's no way that that's the first time this has happened, because who filmed somebody running off the field, right? Like someone was waiting for something, because and the crazy part is you watch it and nobody reacts on the sideline.
mm-mm.
So like if that happened on our sideline, people would be like, "Oh, what's uh, and I think the other interesting thing is if you look at the breakdown of just how society is now at this moment. Politically, you got far left, far right. There's nothing middle ground anymore. And then you look at this, and the comments are phenomenal, because you have
Yeah.
half the people that are like, "Oh my God, fire him! He's the worst person on earth," and then you have half the people who are like, "Oh, that kid's soft. I could take
Yeah.
25 of those shots to the face." Like it's
Yep.
like
That's
everybody
exactly
has
what
an
I mean.
opinion.
We is is
And
we is reading some of the comments from those videos. I think that's also what spurred us and spurred me to name our podcast the Cultivator Culture, right? Because there's so many extremes that are happening right now, politically, economically, socially, and just like in the First World War, right? When they set trenches and they started firing at each other, that middle ground became known as no man's land, and
man's land. Yep.
hundreds and thousands of people lost their lives in that area because that middle ground was dead. But the reason why we call the podcast the Cultivator Culture is because we are trying to be the people that come back to the middle, and a cultivator is a tool that's meant to till and break up dead and barren land in preparation for it to start growing again. So that's why this is always interesting conversations, but at the same time, putting it on film like this, showing others that there are two varying, very different opinions, but at the same time, there was a middle ground and common ground that people from three different walks of life, three different coaching generations, three different playing generations can come together and say, look, here's where we can come to compromise. Because you're right. I think in society we've lost the art and the skill and even the plot of conflict, because the point of conflict, right, is resolution, right? The point of a confrontation is to find a solution. You're not fighting just to fight. And I think that's what's happening now is it's no man's land. People are just firing shots from every side, and in the middle, it's just no man's land because nobody's standing in the middle going, you know what? Let's try to find and grow some common ground. So, I'm glad that came up because I wanted to get your guys' opinions on that particular video, but I wanted to show you one more and get your opinion on this, because there is here we go. It's right here. I share the sound, and here you go. Where are you at? There you are. This was after the game against USF last night, where they beat them pretty handily. This is UTSA, and this is their head coach, Jeff Traylor, responding to press about the Texas A&M job.
Jeff, I have to ask you, there was a report last night about an interview with Texas A&M. Did you interview with Texas A&M?
We had 18 seniors play tonight, and it's a shame, really, that that's what everybody talked about. Any second, someone's talking about Jeff Traylor and not Frank Harris is a travesty towards those 18 seniors.
That I think is...
That means he interviewed.
Yeah. That means, yep, he interviewed. But I like it because, in the big business of college football, you have a guy that's still got the heart, still got the plot of the culture for his particular team, which is the guys that have poured their blood, sweat, and tears for years into that program. And he wanted to give credit where credit was certainly due. So what do you think, Coach Greg? For one, you think he interviewed for the A&M job?
I think it's funny because I saw another coach that I don't remember which one it was, but he posted like a weekend update, like, hey, can't wait to play this weekend against, but he forgot to turn off his notifications, like location tracker, and he was in like interviewing for the Texas A&M job, posting to his other team. So it's funny where we are today, because you have we've talked about it before. We have a society, right, that these things, these beautiful little cell phones, mini computers, they've desensitized everyone to so much, to where you now have people that sit and, like you talked about last week, they're sitting and filming two people fighting instead of helping, or they're sitting watching like someone got ran over by a car in New York City, and there's 18 people sitting there filming the person dying in the street instead of helping them.
That's another story. I got to tell that story again, but I'll tell it another time, because
But how do we get to the point where we are desensitized from everything, but then you see a video of a coach hitting a player, which I completely disagree with, but then everyone jumps out of the woodwork, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever seen." It's not. It's like in society today, everyone wants to defend everybody, which is great, but it's more about they want to make sure they're the first to react, because then everyone reacts to them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, where do you find all this amazing content?" We need to bring back humanity and love and feeling, and that's why I love that we're doing this, and that's why I love that we're bringing back guys like this who I think, though young and inexperienced in some areas, has a great heart and has a lot of love and passion to give to today's youth.
Hey, Boggs, do you think that your generation is desensitized to violence, to sex, to things that we didn't have to deal with at a young age? Do you think that your generation is suffering for that now?
Yeah, I think some, you look around and you see people and, you know, they're caught up in everything now. You know what I mean? They're just doing whatever they want. I sometimes I feel like it's just only going to get worse as it goes on. You know what I mean? Technology is just taking over everything. Even like from me being in high school to now working at it, it was so much different. And it was only 7, 8 years ago I graduated. So it's a huge difference with these kids now, man. It's kind of crazy to think about, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
And
you're up for the challenge, aren't you?
What's that?
You're up for the challenge. That's
Yeah,
why you joined us, because it's above and beyond, right? You're starting to learn in your first season. It's above and beyond just coaching the X's and O's of
World
football.
star.
Right? Yeah, it's trying to coach them how to be good football players, good athletes, but how to be great people. So,
Yep.
we appreciate you on staff. We absolutely love it. We love it that the other guys are on too. I certainly give you a ton of credit for going to be the bull and being finished at 4 a.m. and then turning around and being on the episode with us. But it's time for me to go work out. Coach Greggy.
Before you work out, I have to know real quick.
What?
You're going, I know you're going back to bed right now. What time will you wake up today?
No, I got a long day today. I'm about to go work out with my brother. Then I have my
My man.
7 tryouts today. Man.
Oh yeah. You have a flag football team too, don't you?
You guys know him. Ishwitter from Alonzo.
Yeah. From Alonzo.
Yeah. So me and him, we coach an 18U 7-on-7 team elite,
Nice.
all the smoke. Shout out them.
All
We
the
got
smoke.
tryouts. We got tryouts today and then 2 weeks from now. It's pretty cool, man. We travel, all across Tampa. We go to St. Pete.
Nice.
We got Atlanta on our schedule this year. We're trying to go to New Orleans. But yeah, we just, it's kind of like we get kids from Tampa, St. Pete, we get some kids from Orlando. So it's a lot of kids that come and try out. But it's fun, man. I enjoy doing it during the off season.
Good. Well, listen, go get some breakfast. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Coach Greggy, don't get sick, because I know everyone at your house is sick. I'm gonna go get better another day. But thanks for joining me today, guys. And last thing is keep your pants clean.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Hey, thank
See
you
you,
guys, man.
boys.
It was awesome.
Hey, we'll see you.
All right, boys.